I gotta address the flying locusts, man. First of all, everybody tuning in today's episode, there are pests on the deck, and
not just talking about Reuben.
But I've had just about enough. I'm prepared today. I got a magazine, and I'm ready to just clap them. I think that we've already killed like 5 before starting shooting, and they don't get the hint, man. It's not a safe place. You're dying. Your people are dying. And you still show up here. Stop showing up. Welcome back to On Your Mental, everybody. This is the podcast where we share candid, open, sometimes vulnerable conversations between and about men. And on today's episode, Kabir is back, the lovely co-host. I love this. And we're going to be talking about music. We're just talking about how music sort of fits into our lives and how it can play into mental health a little bit. And yeah, the format for today's episode is a little bit different than usual. You know, normally somebody's asking questions and guides a conversation.
Normally you're like harassing me.
Normally I'm harassing you. And today I'm harassing you in a different way. I've harassed you before today and asked you to think of things.
Right. Gave me some homework.
Enjoyable homework. It was good homework. And tell the class, what was the homework assignment?
The homework essentially was pages 3, 5, and 7, A through C. No, we each pick out...
For a second, I never understood in school why they did that. It would skip pages all the time. Like, why didn't we just work? Anyways.
I don't know.
Go ahead. The real homework.
The real homework was, I think we just said 5 to 10 songs?
Yeah.
Well, pick out around 5 to 10. We each landed around 10. Lyrics from songs that either we just really enjoy listening to, or impacts us some way, or that we really connect with at some level.
Some level and some time.
Whereas
Whereas like maybe this fit into your life, and I swear to God, where? Oh, bro, my God.
he's I don't know.
I'm gonna lose it. Back to our regular scheduled programming. So that was cool homework. I thought that it was a cool homework assignment, and we both came up with a list of at least 10 songs that mean something to us. So we're gonna go just kind of back and forth and go through them and kind of break down why that thing means something to us, because obviously everybody knows that music can help you mentally, especially when you're thinking through something and maybe you don't quite understand it. Then there's a lyric or something that connects you to that moment, to that feeling, and helps you understand it a little bit more.
For sure.
So we're just going to take turns. Bada bing, bada boom.
Back in the old back and forth.
The old
1-2.
Give it the old 1-2. And yeah, we'll make our way through this. Do you want to start, or do I want to start? You can start.
I'll start? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you kick us off.
Let me see what we got
I'm just
here.
getting my phone on my pocket. That's why I look awkward.
I won't go something too deep.
No, let's go surface level first. Surface level first.
Very surface level.
The most surface level you got. And I'll give you my most surface level.
Fuck, these are all fairly deep.
Actually,
They're
before you start,
yeah,
I want to give the top 2 songs of all time, came up within the last couple of years. Sicko Mode and Mo Bamba.
Sure, yeah.
Top 2 songs ever. All I picture is that stupid meme of the kid on, like, was it Polar Express?
Yeah, it was Polar Express.
Yeah. So you got Sicko Mode or Mo Bamba? That's me, man.
Oh God, we got another one.
Dude,
don't touch Mac.
Get him.
Oh,
fucking smoked off the deck. You're gone, pal.
You got smoked off.
Yeah, I saw him bounce off. Keep them coming. I don't care. I'm ready today.
These are all like fairly deep.
That's okay.
But this
start
one,
with whatever you want.
I'll start with Man on the Moon 2, Erase Me. You know that one.
Yeah.
The whole song has that it's like a post-breakup vibe, but it's like very specific. So the lyric I picked out from here was it's like I'm her new nightmare, she ain't escaping. It makes me feel a bit complete.
I can hear it too.
And then it says,
why does that
knowing someone you love don't feel the same way about you. Memories they soon delete. I relate with that part because, and I'm still trying to figure this out, but when you've broken up with an ex, whether, well, I mean, I've only been on one side of it. When that happened, there's something weird. Like I almost want to be, I still want to be thought about by them. And it's a weird feeling, but it gives me some sort of like gratification or it's weird.
I can't figure out what that would be either. Like what the right word for that is. I don't know if gratification's it.
Yeah, but like that's something I would want to know the other person's still thinking about me post breakup.
Still thinking about you, or that they care about you?
You know, honestly, both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if I didn't, it's like it's like a selfish feeling.
Oh yeah.
It's a very selfish feeling. Even if I'm not thinking about them, it makes me feel like good that they're thinking about me, not in a like getting back at you type of way, but just like that I'm being thought about.
Yeah, I don't like the thought of being erased from someone's mind, someone's like train of thought entirely after a breakup.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like my most recent ex, when we've broken up, I believe twice. I think we're on our second breakup right now. And
do you think?
And I mean, hopefully it's the last one. Hopefully we don't have to get back in there. When we split up, she took an approach of like just block on everything, delete off everything, act like you weren't there, and that was her way of like getting over it.
Yeah.
Right. And I get that too. But yeah, I hate the idea of like not being thought of anymore. Yeah. By the person. Right. You want it. It feels like it's a waste then. It feels like, what did it mean to you? If you're going to act like you can't think about me, what did I mean to you?
Yeah. To cut someone off like that, unless they've like, let's say you had like cheated on her multiple times and you're just a total dick, then very understandable.
Yeah.
But no, to be cut off like that is like very harsh.
Yeah. I don't think it's entirely like fair to the other person to just like totally cut them off. You know, like set a boundary, but at the same time, do what you got to do. I don't want to act like we know the best way to go about this. This is just the way that we might feel about that.
True.
Yeah. Cool. So Erased Me, Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon Volume 2. Since we're starting with that kind of vibe,
okay,
I'll kind of mirror that. There's a song by Giveon called Vanish. I know that you don't necessarily listen to Giveon at all. He's a really great R&B artist, very talented, fantastic voice. Drake noticed him and put him on Chicago Freestyle and kind of helped his career a little bit. But anyways, the lyric, and it's the very first line in the song, but it's repeated later again. But it says, "You said you hate me and you wish I would vanish. Okay, you love me, baby, I speak your language. Saying things you don't mean to someone that means the world to you. You see what I mean?" And so that whole idea of like speaking ill of someone that you care about. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like people can say nasty shit when they're in a fight in a relationship or when they're breaking up. Yeah.
That's usually when the nastiest stuff comes out.
And it sucks. It sucks that that's the way it is, and that's what I felt. Yeah. Right. So again, on the same topic of a breakup, right? Like that's the way that I felt I was being treated afterwards. I was being told like it didn't matter, like none of this mattered, like you never loved me and all that kind of shit. And it's like what are you fucking talking about? Like, come on. Yeah. Hearing that song, and that is just one song in an album of his that sort of fits under that same sort of thought of also like a post breakup kind of vibe. Right. Buddy. You hear it like batting around, right? You hear
he's against the window.
I swear to God. That song stood out to me, and that lyric stands out to me because I felt like I lived that. At some point, I felt like I lived that. Do you get it? Yeah. Shit, man. Dude, what are we up to?
Spot him, got him.
Spot him, got him. Spot him, got him. Yeah, so for me, Vanish, kind of the same feeling that maybe you get off of Erase Me, same idea, same general takeaway. Maybe.
Not necessarily a good feeling for either of those, but just something we relate to.
But listening to those songs helped me feel like I'm not alone. Right. When you're going through that feeling. It's like there are other people out there that are feeling the same way about this kind of thing. Yeah. You know, and I feel like that helps. Dude. This might be the last episode on the deck for a while. Like there's been so much noise, so many distractions with fucking whatever. Dog. Yeah, not good feelings.
Yeah.
Not good feelings. But when you hear it from a song, from music, it can guide you through it a little bit. What else you got?
Definitely. What else you got?
What else you got?
I'm going to switch it up here and go with Kid Cudi. This is from Man on the Moon 1.
Sure.
The song is called Man on the Moon. It's a bonus track.
Mm-hmm. Very good song.
It is. It's got a nice kind of melody in the background.
It's very like bouncy,
too.
Yeah.
I always remember this one because I remember listening to it in high school, and it related to me then because I think that was the time I was going through my first breakup.
Sure.
I'd broken up with my ex, and I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing, and I felt like, am I supposed to feel like a dick at the time? So the lyrics is, I guess if I was simpler in the mind, everything would be fine. Maybe if I was a jerk to girls, instead of being nice and speaking kind words. Maybe it would be okay to say then I wasn't a good guy to begin with. It's just something that was easy to relate to for me. It was such a forced breakup too. It was my first time, didn't know what I was doing, and I was like literally at the tipping point. I had to break up, and then she was like super salty at the time, so I was feeling like a super super asshole. It was just a lot of confusion. So I was like, why am I I'm a nice guy. You would say I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So at the time I knew I was like a nice person, very shy at the time. So I was like, why am I feeling like this? Like, is this like a valid feeling to have? Is this justified? Yeah, just a lot of confusion like that.
Did you ever wonder then, after listening to that lyric, when that lyric hit you, did you think like, maybe I should have been a dick in the breakup? Maybe I should have just like been way more like hostile about it? Or even after?
I think after. There was like a few things that lingered on after. But no, I think I handled it to the best of my ability.
It's interesting that you pulled out that lyric because I have thought things about that lyric before too. Yeah. I'm going to lose it. And the things that I thought were more along the lines of like just being a nice guy in general. You know, you would always hear how like, oh, like nice guys finish last, all that kind of stuff. Like you're encouraged growing up as a young man, not necessarily to be a nice guy. Like you are. Everybody will tell you. Your parents will tell you to be a nice guy, all this stuff. But then media, pop culture, all that will show you that assholes sort of get further. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes along with women. And that's what that lyric is directly saying. Instead of being nice if I was a jerk to girls, right? Yeah. Like,
it's like it's kind of a joke all over social media, but it has truth behind it.
Absolutely, there's truth. Like all good jokes contain true shit. That's another lyric from some other song. I think that's J. Cole. Yeah, he was talking about Iggy Azalea winning the Grammy. Yeah. Anyways, So I've thought sort of similar things about that same lyric. That's cool that you picked that out, man. I like this. These are like mirrors in a way, but not quite mirrors. Like there are things that you can draw between them. There's a song. Dude, man. Y'all listening and watching at home have no idea how loud this shit is.
Is there a motorcycle meetup or something?
Seriously, man. Hell's Angels.
Dude. Fuck. How many fucking lights are down there?
Yeah.
How many red lights?
So I was going to stop and start. Anyways, the song that to me is maybe a parallel to that in a way is Sacrifices. And it's on the Dreamville album, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, and it's J. Cole's verse on there that I love. The very start of it is something that I think about actually like quite frequently. He says, "You can't be everything to everybody. I want to be your lover, your best friend, your Batman, Spider-Man, fighter pilot, shooting down your rivals." And he keeps going on, but what I take away from that is sort of the same idea of like you want to be everything to somebody. Yeah. Right? Even when going through a breakup, you still want to be seen as a positive figure to this person, right? If it's like an amicable breakup, if they didn't wrong you, if you didn't, even if not, like you don't want to burn bridges, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not necessarily all that line means to me, but in this conversation right now, like you don't want to leave like a bad taste in somebody's mouth. No, you know, like you don't want them to have negative thoughts about how your relationship was and how you were as a person, but you can't be everything to everybody. Right, you kind of, and this is something that I struggle with sometimes, is accepting the fact that this person may not want to think positively of me forever. And that might be the best thing for them.
Yeah. And that sometimes helps with getting through the breakup as well.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. It's a hard realization, man.
It is.
When we're talking about the topic of breakups, like breakups are never easy. Breakups are hard. And I think we talked about that in our first episode, actually, in episode 4. Breakups are not easy, but there are different things that can help you get through it. One of them is realizing that how you're going to process the breakup is going to be different from how they are. And what you want out of the breakup might be different from what they want out of it and what can be given. So, yeah. That's mine.
All right.
Back to you, Wally.
It's going to rain. It's raining sideways.
It's raining sideways.
Man on the Moon 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of this guy, Kid Cudi. Man on the Moon 2. The song is called All Along. I don't know if have you heard that song?
I can't like picture it in
It's
my
like a
head.
very, it's definitely got a sad vibe to it.
I'll play it for myself.
So for Kid Cudi, his album reflects what's going on in his life. And usually it's him persevering through something, whether it's his own emotions or drugs or love or something like that. So All Along, and then he's talking about how he thinks he's meant to be alone pretty much for the rest of his life.
That's sad.
It is, yeah. It's like it's a nice song, but it is depressing. And then he says, it's in the beginning, he says, when the days change, so does my attitude. I'm messy at home, and I eat a lot of junk food. When the nights change, so do my nightmares too. I dream reality is my dream. So he gets a little bit deep at the end, but he gets like personal at the start. Like he mentions darkness and moonlight and nighttime a lot throughout all of his albums. But he says he dreams reality is his dream. So it's it's a bit tricky. I'm trying to think about the lyrics rather than connecting it to me first. So he's fantasizing that his life isn't his real life. This is just a dream, and then he'll wake up and he'll be feeling totally fine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's just he's got so many problems going on. Not that I have that many problems going on, but it's easy to sympathize for him and connect on that level. So just to know that someone else is feeling the same way makes me feel good.
Do you feel like you've ever been at that point where you feel like...
I mean, just like maybe like days at a time. Nothing major, nothing like what he's been going through ever. But if he's going through such a tough time, and I'm not even close to going through that tough of a time, I mean, there'll be some points where it feels like I'm on his level maybe. But if he can get through it and he's making like songs and he's successful and he's doing fine, he's gone into rehab, he's come out, I'm like, I know I'm gonna be fine too.
Right. It like paints a picture that things will be okay.
Yes.
Because you can see that he is okay.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, like there were points where I feel like Kid Cudi was going through like really dark patches, and like it wasn't so clear that he was going to be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever feel like you've been in a spot where you felt like you had that many problems, or you would hope that you would wake up and just magically it's all gone?
Like an overwhelming time, sure. Yeah. I mean,
just not to that extreme.
No, not to that. I don't want to like dramatize. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Dramatize.
Yeah.
It sounded weird when I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't want to like over exaggerate like my problems because they're not that big. So.
I mean, it's all subjective.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Like your own personal,
just a flesh wound.
Exactly, just a flesh wound. Your own like experience is your own, right? However big a problem is to you, just because it doesn't compare to another person's, it's still your life, right? It is still your experience, and that's the problem.
Yeah, it's perception.
Yeah. So I mean, I once again have another parallel to draw. Now on the topic of things being your own relative experience. You know, your problem, sure, you might say might be small in comparison to the problems that Kid Cudi's talking about, whether that's substance abuse or going through all the different kind of emotional trauma that he seems to talk about in a lot of his music.
Yeah.
It's still a problem. You know what I mean? It's still something that you've lived. So the comparison, I've talked about this song in another episode. I don't remember which one right now, but it's the song Love Yourz by J. Cole. It's talking about loving your own life.
Yeah, none of these songs I've heard.
Really? Wow, man. For everybody listening, watching, all of the songs that we're mentioning today, I will put into a Spotify and Apple Music playlist if I can figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
It can't be that hard.
Yeah.
I'll put them in a playlist and I'll put them in the description for the episode, and y'all can check them out. Anyways, It says, always going to be a bigger house somewhere, but feel me, long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always going to be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always going to be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always going to be a bitch that's badder out there on the tours, but you ain't never going to be happy till you love yours. And so it's the whole idea that there are things that other people are seeing in their lives that are bigger or worse or better in this case than yours. You can see it that way, right? Like he's talking from a perspective of being down. You know what I mean? The whole song he's talking about, like, coming from a place where he was in poverty, or not in poverty, but just not well off, to a point now where he's as successful as he is as an artist. And he's talking about how in hindsight, it wasn't that bad being where he was, because he was still surrounded by love and people who were supporting him. And so it's like, if you can have that in your life, great. Because if you end up getting all the money in the world, all the success materially in the world, but you're not surrounded by love and people that care about you, you're still not going to be happy. Yeah. And the person who has nothing physically but has people that care will be happier than they are.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I like that.
I do like that. I definitely agree. It's just it's a hard concept to grasp. I feel like we won't even appreciate it fully until we're older.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, this is what I love about music.
Yeah, because
the
same song you listen to 5 years later, you'll get a little bit more out of it.
It's gonna mean something different.
Bring it out a little more.
Yeah, you're just you're ringing it out, man. Please. Yeah, that's such a good point, man. It's like you can. When you revisit music, I love that about revisiting music, and your perspective and your life experiences have changed. You've gone through more, and so maybe now there's something else about that lyric that will matter more to you. You know, I would love to listen to this in 5 years and know how I feel, right? So I'm looking forward to that. As far as art goes, not just music, right? Any kind of art you can pick up different.
I even feel the same way about like Netflix shows.
Yeah.
I get excited about rewatching Narcos every couple of years.
Yeah.
Why
is it about Narcos? Like, what about Narcos do you like the most? Or what makes you want to go back to it?
I'm a big movie guy.
Usually show big movie buff.
Big movie guy. I mean, big. I'm tall.
It's a big movie guy.
No, I'm big on my like movies and shows, and like I particularly enjoy the movies and shows that make me feel there's a certain it creates an atmosphere.
An atmosphere. That's the word. Yeah.
Yes. It creates like a separate vibe or atmosphere. And the exact thing with music. I love music that shifts my state of mind. So when I'm watching a show or something and it makes me feel like I'm not watching it, but kind of like in there with it, it's completely different from watching like a bland show.
Like a sitcom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like The Office versus Narcos. It feels like you're a part of the story with Narcos. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're living the experience of the people there.
Yeah. There's a whole atmosphere. They have there's all these different Mexican like tunes playing in the background throughout the whole thing. It just it almost there's so many times where I was watching it and I was like, oh, I really want to like go visit Colombia now.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of cool too.
It is
when art can inspire you, I guess, to learn more, to explore more of what's out there and join the Colombian drug cartel.
Yeah.
Ideally,
that would be nice. I mean, I don't know how long I would last.
I feel like, dude, you would dominate, but you're a big guy, so physically you're just so like noticeable. You know what I mean? But at the same time,
you remember when we were in Cabo?
Yeah.
And then when we were outside, there outside Squid Row, and then the army, like the federal police drove by. Federales. Yeah. They drove by.
Yeah.
And then they had like a big like Humvee or something.
Yeah.
And they had like the two guys in the front, and they had like a bunch of guys like standing,
like mounted on the back.
Yeah.
With guns.
And then we were like, we were like hammered and
of course.
And then like you're like, yeah, we were like, yeah, police, yeah. And then one of the guys put his gun up, and it was like this for a little bit. It's pretty sick. That
is pretty sick, man. Dude, it's terrifying that it's sick, but like people live like that, you know what I mean?
It's a scary place.
It's a scary place sometimes. Squid Row is a very scary place.
You walk 1 block away from Squid Row,
and it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare.
It is. It's scary.
You should all go
alone,
please. I agree with you, and it's almost like when you would maybe go back and revisit Narcos every couple of years or whatever. You might watch another person closely.
Yeah.
Another character more closely.
There's something you missed, or just a better appreciation for the acting or the flow of the
What I've been rewatching, and this is okay, we're taking a tangent from music here, but what I've been rewatching is The Last Dance a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And each time I rewatch it, I get something more out of that. You know, each time I rewatch it, I think more about Scottie Pippen, or I think more about Dennis Rodman, or I think more about Jordan, even Paxson. I don't care. Steve Kerr. Whatever. Like, I'm looking at one of these guys and I'm thinking something different. Anyways, was it you that went last, or was did I go last?
You went last.
I went last.
So he was talking about he was talking about like
Love Yourz. Yes.
Materialistic stuff.
Materialistic success.
Essentially temporary.
Yeah. I'll maybe wrap up that thought around Love Yourz. That is something that I try to think about frequently. I do re-listen to the song very frequently because I can get wrapped up in the idea that I'm not where I want to be. I can put a lot of pressure on myself sometimes, and it's something I'm aware of, but it's something that I feel like is perhaps just part of my character and my nature. I have this thing where I like want this material success somehow.
Yeah.
But why? I'm so happy with what I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love where I'm at in my life. I love you. I love all the guys. I love this family that I have, essentially. So why do I need this stuff? Why do I need to keep pursuing it? Why do I need to think like, oh, like this person's life looks sick? I think a lot of it ties into like social media stuff and
it is,
all that. But that is for, I got another song I'll talk about with that in a bit. But back to you, Ollie.
You want this dog? You know what? I'll switch it up outside of Kid Cudi for a little bit.
You don't have to.
All right, you got me. I don't have any other lines. I was trying to buff. You actually showed me this song. After the Storm?
Oh, yeah, Uchis.
Yeah, is that how you... I didn't say her, the artist name, because I'm in Uchis.
Is it just her, or is it her and
Tyler, the Creator?
Yeah.
But, like, this is the part she was singing.
Yeah.
With Bootsy Collins or something.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that person was in there.
Nothing good ever comes easy. I know times are rough. And then something. Someday we'll find love, because after the storm is when the flowers bloom. Arguably, even more flowers bloom after a storm.
Yep.
So
April showers bring May flowers.
The night is darkest just before the dawn.
Dark night.
The dark. You got it in there.
You got it in.
But it's not. This one doesn't connect to me personally, but I feel like it connects to everyone.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a storm or something you're working through, but there is an end to it. There's always an end. Very generic one, but
I feel like this does relate to you. I feel this directly relates to the last conversation we had,
which was
injury.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, it that could be your most recent experience where you're going through something that is difficult, where at first it might seem like, shit, I'm in this.
Yeah.
Right? But there is something at the end. There is that positive at the end. There's a change.
There's the light.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's calm after the storm.
It's calm.
Flowers after the storm.
Flowers after
That's
the storm.
the one.
As you, I guess, to reach in a little further, it's not just calm after the storm. There's flowers blooming after the storm, meaning you're growing.
There's growth.
There's growth. There's growth from the storm. So if you're surviving it, which you're surviving 99% of the things that are coming at you, you're gonna grow.
I like that too. Like that lyric has never like jumped out at me, but now hearing you bring it out, it's like, yeah, I think it is a solid general.
Yeah, and I just like the flow of that.
It's
song.
a good song. Really
nice.
It's a nice song.
It's
and
a well
we listened to
song.
that on the beach in Cabo, right?
You did, yeah. That's when you showed it to me, and then you showed me the Flower Boy album as
well.
well.
Yeah, which is just another really good album too. Yeah, that was such a nice night. We were on the beach, sunset,
last night.
Beautiful night. I'll take your talk about flowers and watching things grow. I didn't even have this written down, but I'm gonna bring it up, and it just happened to deal with flowers and growth. A little improv. There's a song called "Wither" by Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean is my favorite artist. He is to me, as Kid Cudi is to you, I would say.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds like
just as far as how many like connections I can draw and how consistently I go back to listen to his music and feel something. Anyways, he has a song called "Wither," which it's not available as an individual song. It's part of the album Endless, which is a visual album on Apple Music.
Visual album.
Yeah, like it's the entire thing is a 40-minute video, and it's him like constructing a staircase with multiple versions of him. He had like a live stream of it before it came out. It was really cool, and it was like a live stream over a couple weeks. Like it started out of nowhere, just shows up on his website, and everybody on the Frank Ocean Reddit, they're like, "Whoa, like, what is this?" You know what I mean? So I was like watching it. I was tuned in. I was checking out the interwebs. But then it went like silent for a couple weeks, and then he came back, and then you heard music, and it was like, oh shit, like something's happening. And then you watched it, and it was the actual video of Endless started to play. Nobody knew what it was at the time, but it was just new music from Frank Ocean. No new music for 4 years, right? And then now there's new music. And he starts playing this, and then anyways, one of the tracks on there is called Wither. This is about flowers blooming and about flowers growing. That's just the analogy that I'm taking away from that, whether that be life, whatever. But Frank's take on it. And both our hands are filthy, pointing up at the moon. And tonight I'll hold you close, close enough to bruise. Hope a garden grows where we dance this afternoon. Hope our children's walk by spring when flowers bloom. Hope they'll get to see my color, know that I've enjoyed sunshine. Pray they'll get to see me wither. I really like that lyric, and it's a lyric that in the past has gotten me very emotional when I'm like listening through things, and it was for me at the time because I was like thinking about my relationship ending. When I knew like shit wasn't going the way it needs to go to be successful. Yeah, this lyric jumped out at me, and it was like you have this sort of fantasy or like an ideal built up, you know, an ideal scenario built up when you're in love with someone, and you think like, oh, this is going to be great. Like we could have kids one day, all that shit. And you think about that. And then this song saying how he hopes that his children will see that he enjoyed his life and see that he found love and that he had a happy life in that sense, whether that be with his relationship or whatever. That stood out to me because it was like, I'm not having that right now. This person who I thought this was going to happen with, that's not happening. Yeah, Frank Ocean's got a lot of music that I really like. Yeah. I'll take a quick tangent to the ones that I actually wrote down from Frank Ocean, which were Nights and Forrest Gump. His song Nights, the lyric that I like is every night fucks every day up, every day patches the night up. I find myself going through more emotion at night than I do during the day. Yeah. And I feel like that's a human thing somehow.
I feel like it, yeah. I would think
I have no idea why.
90% of people would think the same.
It's like thoughts just come.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. I don't know why it happens. There's got to be a reason.
The risky texts come out at night.
The risky texts come out at night for sure. Yeah, and that you could definitely fuck up your night by sending a risky text, but tomorrow it'll be okay.
And then you patch it up during the day.
You patch it up during the day.
Unless it's unpatchable.
Too risky. High risk, zero reward. Yeah, that lyric stood out to me from the song Nights. And then Forrest Gump, I just like the way he whistles at the end of it. I got them tattooed on me. They're on my ribs. Yeah. The timestamps for those two songs. But anyways, that's mine. That's my parallel. Your flowers blooming and whatever.
Let me work off that one then.
Oh, really? Okay.
What was give me the Nights day thing again?
Every night fucks every day up. Every day patches the night up.
Okay, this is kind of similar. This is Mac Miller off the Swimming album. It's the first song.
Good album too.
Very good album.
You know the whole thing about swimming in circles? That's the last two albums he released, Swimming and Circles. Oh, it was intentionally swimming.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So this is the first song on the album, Come Back to Earth, and it was literally the first line. It says, "My regrets look just like texts I shouldn't send." It's the same thing. You got some regretful things at the night during the night. The difference is with this one, you're texting someone, right? So he's saying, "My regrets look just like texts." So he's obviously maybe hurt someone. The things he regrets, he can't take back. Yeah. Which is similar to how I feel sometimes with going through these relationships, right? You can't unhurt someone.
That's so true.
Yeah. You can't unhurt someone.
Yeah, once you say it, it's out there.
Yeah. Once you send the text, how many seconds do you have to turn on airplane mode before it's gone, right? You got a couple seconds at the most.
Trade. Yeah. Tricks of the trade. Yeah, no. That's so true. You can't take back something, right? Once it's said, it's said. You know, I feel like that in a way goes back to me saying the whole thing from the song Vanish. Yeah. Right? It's like if you say these hurtful things to somebody, just because you might not mean them fully, you still say them.
Yeah. People remember that.
People remember. People don't forget. People don't forget.
That was like what was you saying? It was like 5th grade asshole.
I was like 5th grade asshole. Dude, we didn't light the ceremonial torch. Can you pass me a lighter? Can't believe I'm thinking of this now. Yeah, no, you can't just say whatever sometimes, you know what I mean? There are consequences to your actions. There are consequences to words spoken. And those things can turn into regrets for sure.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I guess that's what Mac is saying in that.
Yeah.
Mac Miller.
Mac
we got
Miller.
him here too. Mac and J. Cole. The best guest on the show, Mac. J. Cole.
J. Cole, he's around.
He's around somewhere. Let me light this real quick.
Yeah. Spark it up.
Now I'm feeling warm. I don't know that I have anything to like mirror off that or bounce off that one, but I'll just
we had a
take
good
it from
streak.
there. Hey, we had a solid streak there back and forth. Anything by the Migos.
Give me some Migos ad-libs.
Did you? Mama!
Drip it.
Dripping the dabby. There's got to be
so
more.
many. Do you think who's got
Cash.
Literally anything.
Honestly, though, there's not written down. This is not the next lyric that stands out to me.
Okay.
Their new album, Solid, Culture 3.
I still haven't listened to it.
Buddy, dude, the first song they have, there's a sample in the background of it by The Temptations. Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and it's a cool little like jazzy vibe in the background. I love it. I love jazz. Anyways, do you like jazz? I'll go with this one. I'll go with this one here. Deep Reverence by Big Sean featuring the late Nipsey Hussle. I really like one lyric in there that stood out. It's a cool song. It's just it's a cool collaboration. I think it's sad, of course, when there's posthumous collaborations between people, but I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, they're celebrating this person's life in some sense and trying to continue on a message that he has. I mean, Nipsey Hussle's whole thing was the marathon continues, right? Like he built so much in his community and put so much forward for his community. It's cool. Anyways, the lyric, like similar to what you said earlier about how like your problems aren't as big as other people's problems. Yeah. Maybe, whatever. That's perception.
Yeah.
His lyric is, and I got pressure on me 7 days a week. It's game 7 on me. There is no pressure on me externally. Nobody's saying I got to do something. Nobody's saying I got to get anything done. I'd say it all to myself. And I kind of alluded to that with another lyric earlier. But like I tend to put this pressure on whatever I'm doing to be like good or do it successfully, do something well. I have no idea where it comes from. I can't figure it out. Like I lived a fine life. You know what I mean? I had a good upbringing. I wasn't poor. Yeah. I was fine enough. I got things that I wanted as a kid. Only child. It's me and my mom. Sure, it's only one income, but we still did perfectly fine. Yeah. My mom did lots to provide for me, but still I put this pressure on myself to get shit done.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
I feel that too.
Yeah.
Like to be able to relate with like a rapper in that way, to put pressure on yourself to like
it builds a mindset of striving to be better.
Right.
That's what I take away from it. Is like you're never, like you're striving to push things a little bit. You're striving to do better than you can, even though there's nothing telling you that you need to. It's like the whole thing about like, don't fix it if it ain't broke. So what if it ain't broke? If it can be better, it can be better. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about myself. Yeah. You don't have to be down and out, but maybe like even developing that mentality when you're not down and out, when you're doing okay, when you're still pushing yourself will help you maybe when you reach a point where you are in a worse position. Exactly. I feel like that is a good mentality to build.
Yeah, I like that. So it's like preparing yourself for
the worst.
Exactly. Yeah, preparing yourself for the storm.
Yeah, yeah. And then the fucking flowers are back. Yeah. Because you weather the storm.
Right. Back to Ollie?
You, Ollie.
All right. If I may quote the great Sway Lee.
Ooh, buddy.
I ain't got no type.
Nah.
Bad bitches is the only thing that I like. All right, I'll go for a real one.
No, that's a real one. That's a real one.
No, it's not a real one. It's not a real one.
I got one for that, though.
Yeah, for what? What do you got?
She got a big booty, so I call her Big Booty. 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
I ain't got no manners for no sluts. I'm going to put my thumb in a butt. Future. These are real lyrics. Don't take this out of context. These are real lyrics.
If I may bring it back to the Migos.
Yeah.
Started with 100 bricks. bricks. Now I'm sold out, bitch. Bitch. My mama said stay patient.
patient. I don't know. I don't know.
Mama.
Oh, fuck.
Mama says, stay patient.
Mama.
100 bricks, I ain't waiting. Damn.
That's perfect, man. I like. And why is that lyric important?
It's not, but
Man.
it gets me hyped up.
Dude, there are songs that can get you hyped up. The first song that I learned to rap, start to finish, was "Ooh Kill 'Em" by Meek Mill. It was a Kendrick Lamar diss. I want to say this was like, I don't know, like 2014, 2015, something like that. Where Terrio, get it, Terrio, ooh, kill 'em. Yeah, man. There are songs. I guess, yeah. Like we've been talking a lot about how songs can get you through emotions that are maybe a bit more difficult. They're a little bit sadder sometimes. Maybe it's a breakup, whatever. But sometimes songs just hype you up.
Yeah.
They get you ready to go. Fuck Donald Trump. I could listen to that any day, and that'll get me going.
Mac Miller also has a Donald Trump song.
He does. It's crazy. We'll pull it
but he
off
doesn't really. He just talks about his wealth.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Shaba.
No.
ASAP Ferg. That'll always get you going. You know what I mean?
Anything by Ferg.
Anything by Ferg.
Who top ad libs?
You want a top ad lib? There's one.
No, I mean like just.
In general, like which
artist.
artist has the top ad libs?
Migos are pretty good.
I feel like Migos set a standard for what ad libs look like in rap music today.
Because they have them in all their songs.
In all of their songs, and they all just like bounce off of each other. But like out of all the people in the Migos that I think nailed the ad libs, what's his name? Takeoff. I think
most of the time is it Takeoff?
I don't know that it's most of the time Takeoff. I think that his are the best. His is the mama.
Oh, is it? Yeah, his
yeah.
They're the most official ones.
His are. You remember his? You know what I mean? Yeah. He did a whole interview with like the Breakfast Club or whatever, where he only answered in ad libs.
Really?
Yeah. They were asking him something about like, oh, you talked about like Nicki Minaj on Motorsport or something, and his only response was cap. He's funny, man. I think Takeoff's really funny. Great songs, really good stuff.
Good songs, yeah.
I almost don't even want to like give my real shit. Like, my real shit ain't. I'm not even gonna give my real shit anymore.
I think it's still my turn. I didn't get.
You didn't get a real one in there. Go for it.
Jeez.
Yeah, back off.
Nerve of this guy. This one not as deep, but off Indie Cud. Just What I Am.
Kid Cudi again, by the way, everyone.
Kid Cudi. Surprise.
This guy likes Kid Cudi. Okay.
Just What I Am.
Yeah.
But I can't fold. Some poor soul's got it way worse. We're all troubled in a world of trouble. It's scary to have a kid walk this earth.
What do you think about being a dad? I'm cutting you off right there. What do you think about being a dad?
About being a dad?
Yeah, one day.
I think I thought about this before. The main reason I didn't want to become a dad like before, I've had this thought maybe years ago as well. I'm so worried about having my kid turn out like perfectly. Honestly, I would want my kid to turn out like really. I just want him. I don't care if he's like successful or not. I just want him to be like very level-headed.
I like how you're thinking about a son.
Did I say him?
You said he. Yeah.
I think because I'm just thinking about myself, so I'm imagining my own traits in the kid, and I'm happy with the type of personality and like awareness and level-headedness I have. Yeah, I would want to project that onto him, but then I would be stressing too much about how he needs to be like me, or any child I have needs to be like me. So for that reason, I'm out.
For that reason, I'm out.
Many reasons.
50% equity.
Couple of reasons, but
yeah. I mean, I know just from knowing you personally, I know that you're kind of against the idea of having kids.
For now, yeah.
And things change.
Yeah, things. Right? That's the only reason I say it for now is because things change, and I know that they change. So
same way life experiences change the way you view music, things change.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry to cut you off. Anyways, I'll let you go back to your thought on that.
Because he says, but I can't fold. Some poor soul's got it way worse. Even he is saying he can't give in. Don't like. He's not going to let himself quit because there's someone out there going through a much worse time than him. The same way that pushing. Yeah, and they're still going. They're still surviving. In the same way that someone's going to have more material things than you. Someone's always going to be having a worse time than you. So you can always persevere. I forgot what the second part of that quote is. We're all troubled in a world of trouble. It's scary to have a kid walk this earth. That also ties into what you were asking, why I don't want to have. The world's a scary place.
The world is a scary place, man.
I personally don't like social media at all. The only reason I do enjoy social media is just contacting friends, and there's some valid news that's going on out there that can keep you updated.
There's an occasional funny thing that's
funny
a good
stuff.
laugh amongst the boys.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about social media too. I'm very scared for how even our generation, I feel like we're kind of at like the tail end of it maybe, but from like in terms of people getting affected deeply by social media, I'm scared for the next generation of kids, man. Like even the ones that are currently like going through high school and all that stuff, they're
born with social media,
and their lives are being shaped and manipulated by it without them necessarily even knowing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bo Burnham, he's technically a stand-up comedian, but he's recently been speaking on, I guess, the effects of social media and how it's crazy that kids even get to go on it without any real censorship. They see the same things that we see, right?
Yeah.
And we're adults. You know, they're having their opinions and, I guess, thoughts about themselves shaped by social media, and that is all being controlled by adults somewhere in Silicon Valley, choosing how your app is going to work through updates and all this kind of stuff. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So much is affected by social media. The world is a scary place.
Yeah.
And there are real hardships that people can go through. I guess that's what I'm taking from that lyric too. Yeah. And yes, they might be worse off than yours. And so sometimes that can be used as encouragement to make it through what you're going through.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not alone.
You're not alone.
I mean, a lot of my quotes from Kid Cudi.
A lot of what we've shared.
A lot of, and just Kid Cudi in general. That's what he talks about. Talks about his vulnerable side, which reels you into it and helps you cope through what you're going through.
A lot of people have spoken out about how Kid Cudi has saved their lives.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right?
Like all the comments in YouTube videos.
All the time. And it's incredibly powerful to think that somebody has that level of impact. Right?
And really all he's doing is just talking about his life.
He's just talking about his life.
Yeah.
That's what I hope to do with this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? And like people will give feedback from time to time and say how an episode landed a certain way or a message in an episode landed a certain way and it's affected them.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't take much effort to connect with people.
Yeah, because we're all living life. We're all doing the same thing. Yeah. Right? Anyways. Let's do like one more apiece. Sure. Yeah, one more apiece and we'll start to wrap her up.
Yep.
All right, for my last one here then. I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna do a couple at the same time. I'm gonna do three. Just rapid fire though.
3-time
rapid fire. Bow, 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 bow. First one. Triggered by Jhene Aiko. I think she's one of the best R&B artists ever. I think she's got me through plenty. And I'm just going to kind of go through the lyrics. I'm going to just share them just to get them out there. Yeah, these are important to me. Her lyric is, knew from the beginning, you'd ruin everything. You do it every time. You are my enemy. You are no friend of mine, motherfucker. Very quickly, why I like that lyric. Again, it goes back to my own experience with relationships, and it felt like at times the person I was with felt that way about me, that they came in with a negative expectation and they expected it to fail. And coming in with that you are then doomed to fail. It will happen. What you think is going to happen is going to happen if you think it will.
Manifestation. And
it goes both ways. Positive, negative. It goes both ways. So I felt that. And that's why I like that one. And as much as I like Jhene, you know what I'm saying? And I think that when she's sharing that out about how she's felt that, I think that it's a shitty way to go into something, to know that somebody's going to be a bad experience with you. Why'd you do it then? You know what I'm saying? Like, why'd you put that energy out there? But anyways, second one is Love Galore by SZA. I feel guilty of what she's talking about in this. Anyways, she goes, why you bother me when you know you don't want me? Why you bother me when you know you got a woman? That part, not necessarily. Why you hit me when you know better? And so it's like, I feel guilty of that, where sometimes I might be talking to somebody because like you want that part in your life. I talked about with Janelle. Sometimes you want just some companionship, some connection with people, but that might be all that you're seeking in that moment. And that's what you're getting from it. But you're not thinking about what I'm giving in this relationship.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like a committed relationship, but it still is a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're developing a relationship with a person.
The old pick and choose.
The old pick and choose, right? Yeah. And so like sometimes you might feel guilty where you're wanting to spend time with somebody or get something out of someone without expecting it to go long term.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the flip side of the Jhene one. Last one, really quick. Carry Me Home by Jorja Smith. Midnight Strikes, Where Is My Prince? Lost My Comfort, More Time to Think. Broken and Bruised, Tell Me What I Am. Feel So Unused, Help Me Find Your Hand. Really beautiful song. I thought at one point that entire song, Carry Me Home, was going to be like first dance song at my wedding one day. I don't know. Maybe one day still. You never know. It's a really nice song, and I don't know. I guess it talks about kind of like dependence on somebody, and when you're without them, you start to reflect on what that experience has been. Those are my last three. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom.
Back to you, Ollie.
Sounds good. Yeah, the team is just telling me to wrap it up. Yep, I'll wrap it up really quick. So let's go over to Beyonce.
Hey.
Actually, my favorite Beyonce song. Not a very well-known song off the
Halo.
No. I am Sasha Fierce album.
Yeah.
Disappear.
Not a very well known song.
Finally got one that you don't know. And then so the lyrics go, when I think about it, I know that I was never there or even cared. The more I think about it, the less that I was able to share with you. When I think about past relationships, kind of feeding off what you just said, I went in with no end goal in mind. I didn't see the path towards the end. I was just like, okay, let's go with the flow. I'm not really planning to stay here extra long, right? So she's saying, I was never there or even cared. I mean, I cared. It's just like I can relate to that a little bit. The more I think about it, the less that I was able to share with you. So looking back on my past relationships, I'm not very good at expressing my feelings generally. So looking back at all of my past relationships, I wasn't a good talker,
right?
Not good at communicating my feelings, and that always caused some miscommunication.
Yeah.
Beyonce, Kanye, the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy album, Runaway.
Oh,
Runaway.
buddy.
This one hits a little bit home with me. Same as that Beyonce one, actually.
Hell of a song.
It's not the chorus is good, is solid too, but it's the little verse at the end. Never was much of a romantic. I can never take the intimacy, and I know it did damage because the look in your eyes is killing me. I'm guessing you're at an advantage because you could blame me for everything. Similar vibe to the Beyonce one. I blame myself for the most part for those relationships.
Yeah. I feel that, man.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Because
when you're going in there not looking at the end goal or looking to progress, your priorities aren't to progress, then what are you going in there for? So that's the way I look back at it. Look back at it.
Yeah, look back at it.
If I make quote there's just so many songs that make me feel a certain type of way that don't have lyrics as well, like Trance.
Yeah.
Dr. Disrespect just repeats the same stuff.
There's a song, that's the thing too, is it's not always about lyrics. Sometimes it's about the emotion that the music itself gives off to you, right? Yeah. And it's there's a guitar solo on this song, Love Too Fast by Steve Lacey. The whole idea about that song is that he went kind of like too quickly falling in love in his last relationship, and now as he's going to look on to the next one day, he knows he's going to just take it way slower, be a bit more cautious about it. That's something I want to do when I approach my next relationship, is just take it way slower.
Sure. Because
I'm, as you all know, notoriously a very
dive in head
first, head over heels kind of guy. Yeah. And that can bite you because
it can.
You don't know the person entirely.
Right. But then also shouldn't get too into your head about it as well, right? No. Because then it works in the reverse way.
Right. I think that there is, for my own experience, I think that there is benefit to being kind of head over heels sometimes. Yeah. Because you're just letting whatever comes to you.
Passionate guy.
And that, thanks, man.
Passionate guy.
That is, I'm going to briefly touch on this, and then we can start to wrap things up. In Janelle's episode, I talked about how I feel like I don't have the time to devote to a relationship. And to not sound avoidant, to relationships. I know myself, and I know how much time I want to give to a relationship when I'm ready for it. Mm-hmm. When I am in love with somebody, when I want to spend my time with them, I want to spend my time with them. You know what I mean? And so when I'm saying that I don't feel as though I have the time, it's not to say, oh, I'm not wanting to make time for the relationship. It's that I want to work on all these other things in my life, the podcast, my career, whatever else is going on. I want to work on that. And I know that if I was working on those things, I wouldn't have the time that I want to give to a relationship. Mm-hmm. And so for that reason, I'm out.
Exactly. I mean, you're doing yourself a service, and you're doing the person, your future partner a service.
There's like a fear that I have of if I ended up in a relationship, let's say today, you know what I mean? If I ended up in a relationship with somebody today, it won't work. I know it won't work because I'm still not thinking that I'm happy with everything else going on.
Same.
Right? Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So it's, to your last comment with your last lyric, it's like going into a relationship with an expectation or no expectation, right? That can be sort of damning to the relationship. You know?
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, come see, come sa.
Come see, come sa. Más o menos.
Más o menos.
If I can quote A$AP Ferg.
Please. All right, that's a great place to end off the episode.
There we go.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming back in, Cabs. Thank you all for listening. I hope you take some of this music. Check out the playlist. I hope there's a playlist. I might be talking on my ass at this point. Worst case, I'll just write down the names of the songs. And they'll be there, and you can copy paste them. But hopefully there's a little playlist you can click, and you can check out the music and see if you relate to it too. If there's any songs that stand out to you for something that's maybe gotten you through an emotional time, feel free to share that as well. But for now, we will see you next week. Perhaps with another guest, perhaps not. Perhaps it's Cabs again.
Kicking me out already.
No. I love you. We'll see y'all next week.
Catch you on the flippy flip.
Peace.